Okay.
He rode a camel.
Right. But now let me say this. His sunnah, let's say, yeah, let's go along. It's his sunnah. Where did he get this example from?
The sunnah from Allah.
Thank you very much. So remember your answer for now.
All right.
Now, since this sunnah came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is it fair to say today this sunnah still exists? This example still exists?
It exists.
That's the end of the story. So you cannot really have your cake and eat it too. You cannot say that the sunnah is alive and well today because it's from Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and then claim that you are unable to follow the sunnah because of the fact that it was 1400 years ago by the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam.
Oh, you can't. Who said that you're unable to follow?
That's what he was driving. You got to understand where what I'm saying to you.
It's to the best of your ability.
That's fine. But what I'm saying to you is, when people assert these sayings, this is something that was done 1400 years ago. What they're trying to prove is literally that it's undoable today. Today, exactly. Well, that's what they're getting at. So you got to understand. And, if there's not the knowledge there, really, there's going to be some issues. There's going to be a lot of issues. It's going to be shirki. Well, it's going to be kufri, because the oath of allegiance, the twin declaration of faith, says that you bear witness that none is worthy of worship save Allah. So then, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ, whatever the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam gives you, take it.
Exactly right.
Thank you very much. وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. So now you're claiming that the sunnah cannot be lived because we live in America 1400 and some odd years ago. So that's why it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. People need to learn the Quran, need to learn the essence of the Quran.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, and there's a very beautiful saying of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu, Allahumma arzuqni tafakkuri. And it was at the Hafiz school that this was actually practiced and memorized. Allahumma arzuqni tafakkuri wa tadabburi bima yatluhu lisani min kitabik. Oh Allah, bless me with the understanding and the reflection of what my tongue has recited, and the understanding of it, wal fahma lahu wal ma'rifa bima'anihi, and knowledge of its meaning, wa nadhara fi ajaibihi, and contemplate into its miracles, into its wonders, wal amala bidhalik, and to live upon it, act upon it, ma baqitu, until death. Innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir, saying, oh Allah, you're capable of all things, you have power over all matters. So the problem again is that the IDF, they thought, and they're trying harder to win over popularity, because right now they're seen as war crimes. And they are war crimes. And they
don't win no popularity. No,
they're not. It's not that time.
They ain't gonna win that.
No. They cannot. People are.
I know they can.
People are woken up for the most part and saying that we don't want. And this is what I love. Finally, selfishness and greed are being checked, because when somebody says to themselves, I don't want anything to happen to anyone, any human being, any of Allah's creation, that I would not want upon me. When they get to that mind frame, then it's like, we're not going to use force anymore. You know who that is? That is the guy that was helping out the nerd who was getting bullied. That's the guy that said, or the gal that said, why don't you just leave him alone? They stand up. When the silent majority stand up like they are now, because they were at the White House protesting. There's going to be more protests today.
I know.
There's going to be way more protests today. Israel, if you want to remain a state.
It happened to people sitting around being silent for 75 years.
Right.
They just watching the bully beat everybody up on the street.
Right.
They wasn't saying anything.
They wasn't saying anything. But what is there to live,
Stop taking the guy's lunch money.
Right.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. I mean, you cut off food, you cut off water, you cut off electricity, you cut off gas. There's nothing more you can cut off from those people. Just like there was nothing more they can steal from the Africans that they brought over here. You stripped them of everything.
And
You stripped them of everything. And they had people who were just breeding slaves. People were just breeding slaves to sell them. That's crazy. People who are raising slaves as property just to sell them. And you're trying to keep the intent of that ongoing because that's what the founding fathers were about.
And guess what?
What's that?
Guess what? After 400 years, they're just African Americans. They just starting to wake up. Just now. I mean, you know, like they just started. You know what I'm saying? African Americans are just starting to wake up.
Hopefully not. I mean, it's not. I feel like.
Now, I'm not saying that they all waking up. I'm saying, no, they're just starting to.
Allah knows best how well they're up, though, because, people wake up and then go back to sleep.
No.
You remember the Hafiz school?
You know what I'm saying? I said just starting to.
They're starting to wake up, yeah. It looks like, it really does.
A lot of people coming out of Christianity.
Yeah, a lot of people, yeah. Well, listen to this. Well, listen to.
People becoming Muslim now. You know what I mean? They starting to understand. A lot of celebrities becoming Muslim. I mean, that's just a start.
It is a start. You're right.
Imagine years ago, they wouldn't think about being no Muslim.
You're right.
Islam was like Elijah Muhammad, and
you're right.
The white man's the devil.
But see,
you know what I mean?
Let me explain something. They lied to them about what Islam means. They lied to them about what Muslim means. I had a woman who had graduated from University of Richmond with a university degree in Islamic studies.
Mm-hmm.
This woman is not a Muslim. She's been a graduate from 1999. White lady, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, white lady. Graduate 1999. She's been working, and guess what she has managed to get herself into from her world history diploma concentration with Islamic studies. Guess what she's been able to do with that?
I don't have a clue.
Halal meat. She has a halal meat a factory, and that's what she said. She said, hey, my Islamic degree is really helping me. So my question to her was, what does Islam mean? What's the meaning of Islam? What does it mean? The word. She couldn't even tell me it was Arabic. This is the level of ignorance. You went to the well, let me explain this.
She didn't know what the word.
She did not know what the definition of the word Islam was. Better yet, she didn't even know that it was an Arabic word. Listen to that. Wallahi. No, I can't make this stuff up. I cannot. Look, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How many Christians or non-Muslims have you spoken to? A lot, right?
Yeah, I don't know, I guess.
Okay. How many of them, and in speaking to them, I'm sure you've been, talking to them about Islam. How many of them have told you that Al-Islam is an Arabic word and it means everlasting peace? How many of them have told you that?
Not too many.
Really? See, this is what we're talking about. When you say this is the meaning, who can deny peace? Wait a minute. Listen, I kid you not. I can't make this stuff up. What it is that they're doing here? Okay.
That's not the same as a person off the street.
All right. Better yet, when you go to Google and you put in Islam and you put in definition, it's gonna tell you a religion practiced by Muslims. So imagine that. This is what's been surfacing around social media, and the media is just a name of a religion that is practiced by some Arabs. That's it. And then they go on to talk about its fundamentals. So it's easy to miss. But when you say that this word is the peace, the divine peace, the way that the Creator gave to the creation, which you cannot deny. There's nothing in your life that you say I can need less peace in. I need more peace when I'm asleep. I need more peace when I'm awake. Everything that I'm doing, I need peace.
Or they say submission to the will of God.
Well, wait a second. That's a Muslim. That's a Muslim. So again, we're talking about Islam.
I must have been telling them wrong because I say Islam, I tell them Islam, a Muslim is one who submits to the will of God, right? And then I say Islam is submission, bowing your will to the will of God. In other words, doing what God say do. That's what I've been telling them.
Okay, well there's some truth there, but that's not the entire truth.
That's what I've been telling them. That's what Islam
So Islam, again, it means everlasting peace. It means divine peace. All right? The meaning is actually, to summarize it in one English word, it's peace. Islam. Okay? And this salam, like one of Allah's names is as-salam. Ya salam. When you're calling upon him, it's all peace. So this peace is something that he has decreed what it is. And when we as Muslimin submit ourselves to the will of him, that entirely is that we have embraced the way he has given to us. This deen that he has given to us. All right? It's all peace. You cannot drive, you cannot walk, you cannot sit without peace.
Right.
So when they lied to the people all these decades, it's an Arab religion. You don't need that. Oh, they live as savages. They had to keep up with that narrative.
Right.
They had to do it at the university level. They had to do it at all possible levels.
Right.
You understand? So now, if you say to a person, are you a Muslim? They say, no, I don't even know what that means. But when you explain it, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's exactly what I am.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a big difference because people have been living decades of lies. There's been lie after lie, and people have been raised in it. This has been going back so many generations, but now you have an era where Allah Jalla Jalaluhu himself has decreed that it will become clear to the people. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, what's up with this genocide United States is funding? What's up with these atrocities? What's up with all these coups in Africa United States was behind? People are asking, like, what are you all trying to do? You're impoverishing the poor people because that's what capitalism states. Poor people are not supposed to become rich in capitalism.
You can say we've been trying to tell y'all this for years.
Yeah, for years.
Y'all
wouldn't listen. In capitalism, vast majority of the poor people are not supposed to be tilting the balance of power. They're not supposed to be equal to the rich. That's capitalism. The rich are supposed to get richer and the poor get poorer, meaning that, they continue on with that cycle.
Yeah.
Now, when people at the bottom become a majority now, you have a gap. You've had a gap in inequality. That's been existing for a long time. So you have people, although they're supposed to be well off, guess what? They're poor now too. They're living, paycheck to paycheck. They're making good money, but it's expensive life. People who own have to make more. They're greedy. They're supposed to get richer. So if you're at the bottom, you're like, wait a minute. They have 24 hours in a day just like I do. They have a brain just like I do. They have a heart they're human beings.
Mm-hmm.
The Creator created all of us. He didn't create them and not create me, or he created me and not create them. No. This is Islam. Islam brings the freedom, the peace, the everlasting liberation of the soul. Instead of selling your souls to lies and deceit and arrogance and greed and disbelief, everything that Iblis did. Allah Ta'ala said, I am going to have a viceroy on the earth. The angel said, are you going to place someone there, or are you going to place there one who is going to be involved in all these killings and atrocities and take it as a sport? He said, I know what you do not know. That's knowledge. I know what you do not know. After the creation of Adam, what happened? Everybody bowed down to Adam. After the giving the soul of Adam, everybody bowed down to Adam. Iblis decides to oppose. He's already rejected the command of Allah. Aba wastakbara. And then he was arrogant about it. Right? وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. And he was among those who rejected. Now, Iblis in his own justification says, أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ. I am better than him. Right? I don't like to prostrate. I don't like him because أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ. You made me from better equipment, from better tools. خَلَقَتَنِي مِن نَارٍ. And you created me from smokeless fire. خَلَقْتَهُ مِن طِينٍ. So Iblis is trying to be intelligent, deceitful. He's lying also because Allah Ta'ala created him and he created Adam. He knows how he created and why he created and everything else. But since he is being arrogant, since he is being greedy, since he is being jealous, since he is being envious, since he is being rejectful of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala's command, he is cursed until the day of judgment. And anyone who follows and practices these traits, and you are submerged in it, and you're persistent in being in it, you're following the way of Iblis. That's what they've been about. You look at the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims, they all have the sanctuary in Jerusalem. Why is it that you want to side two against one? You want to divide. Why is that? Especially
Shaitan.
Exactly. So let's say, for example, okay, I'm a Christian, and let's say I want